Oh, new camp. Oh, alright.
Well,
New camp,
there
new
it is.
cutscene.
Lothering.
Lothering.
Ah, so you have finally decided to rejoin us, have you?
To rejoin
Falling on
us.
your blade in grief seemed like too much trouble, I take it.
Is my
Damn,
being upset
alright.
so hard to understand? Have you never lost someone important to you? Just what would you do if your mother died?
Before or after I stopped laughing.
Damn, that's
very
fucking
creepy.
insane.
Forget I asked.
Fucking nuts. Just get to the point. What did you want to talk about, Alistair? You have been very quiet, Alistair. Leave him alone, Morrigan. Yeah, what do you want to talk about?
His navel, I suspect. He certainly has been contemplating
Morrigan,
it for long
let it
enough.
go. Come
Oh,
on.
I get it. This is the part where we're shocked to discover how you've never had a friend your entire life.
I can be friendly
Damn.
when I desire to. Alas, desiring to be more intelligent does not make it so.
Anyway, I thought we should talk about where we intend to go
Sheesh.
first.
I'll figure it out. Let's just get going. Damn, savage. We should try and use these treaties, I assume. These treaties. I don't know what the fuck that means. We need to hear some news before we can decide. You have some thoughts on that point, Alistair? Yeah, let's hear some
But
news
we need
first.
to decide what our general plan is for afterwards, don't we? I think what Flemeth suggested is the best idea. These treaties, have you looked at them?
What do you mean?
The treaties, the ones we got from Flemeth. With these, we will
Oh,
be
no,
able
I
to
have not
ask
looked
for
at them at all.
assistance. Maybe even raise an army. There are three main groups that we have treaties for. The Dalish Elves, the Dwarves of Orzammar, and the Circle of Magi. I also still think
Gotcha.
that Arleman is our best bet for help. We might even want to go to him first.
I'll figure it out as we go. Then we need to find these people. Is there a way to contact the Grey Wardens? Why are you leaving it up to me? What do you think we should do, Morrigan? And then we need to
I
find
can
these
give you
people.
directions if you like.
Where do we find our Lehman?
He'll be at Castle Redcliffe, in the far western part of Ferelden, next to the mountain passes.
Gotcha.
If he isn't there, someone will be able to tell us where he is.
Alright, where will we find the Dalish Elves?
If we head eastward, towards the Brazilian forest, we should
Brazilian
hear word of one of
forest.
the clans that wanders that area. Hopefully they will still be there.
Alright, where do we find the dwarves?
We would need to speak to their king in Orzammar. That means heading west into the Frostback Mountains, which won't be easy.
What the Circle of Magi do what the Chantry says?
Technically, the Circle of Magi is independent. We don't know that the Chantry won't support us, of course.
You truly believe that?
If we speak
they
to the
won't
first
support us.
enchanter, he should see that his responsibility to the Grey Wardens supersedes anything the Chantry or even Tanlo Gain might have to say about it.
Sure. Where will Lugain be exactly?
If he isn't out in the field with his army, he's probably going to be at the palace in Denerim. We can go to
Gotcha.
Denerim, but somehow I suspect that they're not going to let us just walk around.
Yeah, no, I don't think so
Only a
either.
suspicion, of course.
Yeah, no, probably a good thought. Yeah, I don't need any
Then
more
you have a
directions.
plan.
Is there a way to contact the Grey Wardens?
Short of leaving Ferelden to seek them out, the only place to send word to would be Weishaupt Fortress. And that's
Weishaupt.
thousands of miles away.
Thousands of miles. How big is this map, dog? What? Why are you leaving it up
Well,
to
I
me?
don't know where we should go. I'll do whatever you decide.
Damn,
That
just
is unsurprising.
brand new.
Arleman is a good man, but I don't know for
The
sure
newbie
he's
just
where we should go. I'm not going to fight
Taking
about it.
reins of all the fucking Grey Wardens, or I guess just one Grey Warden. What do you think we should do, Morgan?
Go after your enemy directly. Find this man Logain and kill him.
Yeah,
The
we
rest
gonna
of
need
this
some
business
help
with
to
the
do that,
treaties
though.
Can then be done in safety.
Yes, he certainly wouldn't see that coming, and it's not like he has the advantage of an army and experience. And
I was asked for my opinion and
that's
I
a good
gave
point.
it.
Alright,
If
fair
your
enough,
wish is
fair
to
enough.
come up with reasons why something cannot be done, we will stand here until the Darkspawn are upon us.
Shit, fair point. I'm not sure any of this is. I'm not sure any of this is a good idea. Sure.
I'm not
maybe?
sure I like any of it either, but we don't have a lot of choice in the matter.
Of course you have a
Oh,
choice.
we have all the choice.
You can run and forget about it all. Let the Darkspawn do as they wish until other Grey Wardens come. If they come.
That's what you
point,
call
yeah.
a choice?
It may not
It's
be a
technically
good
a
choice,
choice,
but
yeah.
it's a choice nevertheless. We all choose our path, even when it seems there is only one direction we should go.
How enlightening.
He's got a point.
At
So.
any rate, I'll stay with you whatever you decide.
Alright, I'm ready to get going.
Fair enough. Let's head into the village whenever you're ready.
Alright. Alistair, how you liking the new clothing, buddy?
What do you need?
Oh, and then he takes off the helmet. Oh, I actually do really like that. Because then they take off the helmet for cutscenes. Right, I haven't noticed that. Yeah, because everyone's wearing a hat. He's been wearing a hat this whole time. But then when he gets to the cutscene, he's not. That's nice. I like that. I'd like to ask you something. What do we need to ask? What kind of Templar do you
Essentially,
exactly?
they're trained to fight. The Chantry would tell you that the Templars
Chantry.
exist simply to defend. But don't let them fool you. They're an army. The other main purpose for a Templar is, of course, to hunt mages. To that end, we train in talents that drain mana and disrupt spells.
Gotcha. So couldn't others learn these talents?
Perhaps, but there usually isn't much of an opportunity. The Chantry keeps a close rein on its Templars. We are given lyrium to help develop our magical talents, you see. Which means we become addicted. And since the Chantry controls the lyrium trade with the dwarves, well, I'm sure you can put 2 and 2 together.
So you are addicted to this lyrium?
Thankfully, no. You only start receiving lyrium once you've taken your vows. You don't need lyrium in order to learn the Templar talents. Lyrium just makes Templar's talents more effective. Or so I was told.
Gotcha.
Maybe it doesn't even do that. The Chantry usually doesn't let their Templars get away either, so they can spread their secrets. I'm a bit of an exception. Lucky me.
Oh, motherfucker, I don't think I was done asking questions.
Ask away.
Can you teach others to be a
I
Templar?
suppose I could. But I really would rather not.
Motherfucker, too bad.
Let Duncan recruit
Motherfucker,
me.
what?
She made me swear never to reveal Templar secrets outside of the Chantry.
Boo-hoo, these are dark times. What?
On my word.
Oh, you suck. You don't think this is important? What if I ordered you to do it? Yeah, you don't think this is important?
It's just, I don't think you necessarily need Templar secrets to defeat the Darkspawn. Ask me later, perhaps. Maybe I'll change my mind. This is not something small you're asking, after all.
Fucking apparently not. I thought it was.
What
It felt
do you
like
need?
something pretty small, but
Ask
maybe
away.
not. Tell me about the Grey Wardens.
Such as they are.
Such as they are. Where are the nearest Grey Wardens from here?
That's a good question. There's plenty in Orlais, but who knows where they might be found. And the nearest Orlesian city is weeks away. If we go north and cross the sea, there's bound to be some in the Free Marches. Again, however, I just don't know where. I don't know anything about Grey Wardens in other lands.
Alright, is there a headquarters somewhere?
Here in
Probably not.
Ferelden, there's our compound
alright.
in Denerim at the palace, but that's it. Logain will have control over that and be watching it, no doubt. Beyond that, the only place I know of is Weishaupt Fortress. That's the headquarters of all Grey Wardens in
Weishaupt
Neanderthal,
Fortress.
1,000 miles from here. But I've no idea how to even contact them. So unless we try to get back to the compound in Denerim, I suppose the answer is no. There's nowhere for us to go.
Well, that's less than ideal. So what happens when there's just 2 of us?
I imagine that eventually the Grey Wardens outside of Ferelden will wonder what's happened. Why there's no contact from Duncan or someone. They'll send someone eventually. Though who knows what Logain's people in Denerim will tell them. Maybe they won't send anyone. We could try to contact them. But that would mean leaving Ferelden, and even if we did, they couldn't come back with us in time to stop the Blight. So that means whatever happens, it's up to us.
Gotcha. Well, we need to start rebuilding the Order.
I mean, eventually we would have to use the joining to make more Grey Wardens, right? But I don't know how to do the joining, or what's involved. I know it involves lyrium and some other magic, and that it's really difficult to
Wasn't it just the
prepare,
blood?
but that's
I thought
it.
that was kind of it.
Unless we can
Well,
find
maybe
out
there
more
was
about
other
the
stuff
joining,
mixed up
I guess
in there.
we better get used to the idea that there might only be 2 of us for now. Until more come from elsewhere.
Gotcha. What would happen if we just left?
Just left? You mean just left Ferelden? I don't know. If there's an archdemon, however...
Yeah, the whole world would be
we're supposed to
fucked, is
the
kind
only
of how I'm
ones who can
interpreting that.
defeat it. And that means the Blight would grow unchecked. Eventually, other Grey Wardens in Orlais and other lands would hear about it. They would
Orlais?
come to fight it, but they wouldn't come in time to save Ferelden. There's no way. I'm not going anywhere.
Honorable man. Alright, guess I have no more
Grey
questions.
Wardens, anyhow. Fair enough.
Oh, I guess I
What
do
do
have
you
other
need?
questions. I'd like to ask you something.
Ask away.
So how did you become a Grey Warden?
Same way you did. You drink some blood, you choke on it, and pass out. You haven't forgotten already, have you?
Well, okay. I mean, before that, yeah. Haha, very funny. If you don't want to answer, then say so.
I do my best. What can I say?
Ho ho
Let's see,
ho,
I
so
was in the
funny.
Chantry before.
Oh,
I
thanks.
trained for many years to become a Templar, in fact. That's where I learned most of my skills.
You don't seem like the religious sort. So you mentioned before, what skills might those? You don't seem like the religious
You're
sort.
telling me I was banished to the kitchens to scour the pots more times than I can count. And that's
Dang,
a lot.
you said that
I
so
can
fucking
count
fast,
pretty
dude.
high. The Grand
Oh,
Cleric
okay.
didn't want to let me go. Duncan was forced to conscript me, actually, and was she ever furious when he did? I thought she was going to have us both arrested. I was lucky.
Okay, you think Duncan took pity on you?
I don't know. Maybe. When he came looking for recruits, I just remember praying fervently to the Maker that he would pick me. I'll always be thankful to Duncan for recruiting me. If it hadn't been for him, you know, I wouldn't have.
Don't start crying again, please. He was a good
He
man.
was. A good
He
man
still
who
is.
didn't
He's alive
deserve
out there.
his
We don't know he's dead.
That much I'm sure of. Come on, let's go. I think I'm done talking.
Nope, I'm not done talking.
What do you need?
Oh, he approved. Okay.
Ask away.
I think I'm done talking. Nope. So you said this Arl Eamon raised you.
Did I say that? I meant that dogs raised me. Giant slobbering dogs from the Anderfells. A whole pack of them, in fact.
Uh-huh. That's not what I remember you telling Flemeth.
Well, if you're going to go and pay attention to the facts...
Yeah, I don't remember him saying
then
that, to be honest.
fine,
But sure.
fine. Let's see, how do I explain this? I'm a bastard. And before you make any smart comments, I mean the fatherless kind. My mother was a serving girl in Redcliffe Castle who died when I was very young. Arl Eamon wasn't my father, but he took me in anyhow and put a roof over my head. He was good to me, and he didn't have to be. I respect the man, and I don't blame him anymore for sending me off to the Chantry once I was old enough.
Why did he send you off to the
Arl
Chantry?
Eamon eventually married a young woman from Orlais, which caused all sorts of problems between him and the king because it was so soon after the war. But he loved her. Anyhow, then you, Alistair, resented the rumors which pegged me as his bastard. They weren't true, but of course they existed. The Arl didn't care, but she did. So off I was packed to the nearest monastery at age 10, just as well. The Arlessa
It's not as bad
made
as
sure
me.
the
I got
castle
taken
wasn't
at
a
fucking
home to
age
me
3.
by that point. She despised me.
You were probably luckier than most orphans. Wasn't it inappropriate for the Arl to raise an orphan? Who cares? No. What? What an awful thing to do to a child. That sounds like a bunch of wine. You were probably luckier than most orphans, I
suppose you're
suppose. Yeah.
I wasn't raised as the Arl's son, though, if you're picturing that. I slept in hay out in the stables,
Okay,
not on silk
alright.
sheets.
So some
Remember,
Game
I
of
had
Thrones
an
type shit
amulet
right there.
with Andraste's holy symbol on it.
Andraste.
The only thing I had of my mother's. I was so furious at being sent away, I tore it off and threw it at the wall and it shattered.
God damn it.
Stupid thing to do. The Arl came by the monastery a few times to see how I was, but I was stubborn. I hated it there, and blamed him for everything. And eventually, he just stopped coming.
Dude, there's like these little screams in the background of, I don't know, somebody like moaning in pain, it sounds like. It's so faint, but it's just there, and it's just getting to me, you know? And you think the Arl will help us.
All I know is that the Arl is a good man, and well loved by the people. He also was King Caelan's uncle, so he has a personal motivation to see Logain pay for what
Well,
he did.
isn't Logain
Anyway,
also,
that's
I guess,
really
a
all there is to the story.
through marriage uncle? Alistair be approving
What do you need?
of just any conversation.
Ask away.
Why have you remained a Templar if you hate the Chantry?
Have you seen the uniform? It's not only stylish, but well made. I'm a sucker for good tailoring.
Yeah, I just put you in different clothing, so that joke doesn't quite hit. I thought Templars wore heavy plate mostly. That's a good point. In that case, you should have become a mage.
Oh, you aren't kidding. I think the Templar uniforms are as colourful as they are just so the Templars didn't feel dull in comparison. Last thing you want when you're about to take down some Maleficar out in the woods is to have him point and laugh at your taste in clothing, am I right?
Haha, funny. And what's the real reason? Seems like that might happen anyway. So this is where you deflect questions with humor, right? Seems like that might happen anyway.
Oh, ow, ow. Stab wounds to the pride are the worst. You don't really want to know about
He's
my
got just that little sarcasm
It's really
touch
quite
to him, you
boring.
know? Then make up something more exciting.
You know, I like the way you think. You're all right. If you're really curious, then I'll tell you.
Well,
The truth of the matter is that I did hate going to the monastery. The initiates from poor families thought I put on airs, while the noble ones called me a bastard and ignored me. I felt like Al Eamon had cast me
It's like a
off
classic middle
unwanted,
child.
and I was determined to be bitter. But I took some solace in the training itself, I guess. I was actually quite good at it.
Uh-huh. Enjoyed hunting mages, did you?
No, I never got that far. I mostly learned about discipline.
So you say?
And training my mind to use the abilities that Templars have. It was difficult, but rewarding. I never really felt at home anywhere, though, until I joined the Grey Wardens. And Duncan felt my Templar abilities might be useful for when we encountered Darkspawn magic, so I kept it up. What about
I'd
you?
say he was right.
Do you have anywhere you consider home?
I love that Morgan's just sitting there listening to this whole conversation and participating literally nothing. Not anymore, no. Circle of Magi's Tower was my home for a long time. Home was where camp was. Yeah. The Circle of Magi's Tower was my home for a long time.
But it's not your home anymore, right?
Yeah, obviously
You can
not.
never go back for good. I think I understand how you feel. We won't always be traveling like this, you know. Once the war is over...
Motherfucker, once the
fight
war is over, I ain't playing this
Well,
game. Are you shitting me?
a time will come when we'll have to think about having a real home again. Though that
Fucking
seems
knock
like
on
a
wood,
far
dog.
ways off.
Jeez.
And I
Acting like we
suppose
finna
the Grey
die at
Wardens
this
are
rate.
gone for good. Either way.
That's assuming we even survive, yeah. They can be rebuilt. You can always keep traveling. This is not the time to think about it. Yeah, they can always be
I suppose
be
you're right. We can
rebuilt.
create new Grey Wardens, but we'll never get back those we lost.
That sounds like that's just
wonder
life,
if we'll
brother.
ever feel the same. Anyhow,
That is
now
just
I've
life, especially
sidetracked us.
one as a warrior.
We'd better get back to what we're supposed to be doing right now.
Alistair approved +3.
What do you need?
Shit, alright.
Ask away.
Anything else? Nah, I think we're good. Alright. Morrigan,
wish
God,
of
we're
you.
just doing so much talking right now. I'd like to discuss something personal. Oh. Let me just ask
If
you
you
something
must.
for the time being. How did you become a shape changer?
I was not born such. 'Tis a skill of Flemeth's, taught over many years in the wilds. The chastened have tales of we witches, saying that we assume the forms of creatures to watch them from hiding. When a child is alone and separate from his tribe, that is when we strike, dragging the young boy kicking and screaming to our lair to
Oh.
be devoured. A
Jesus.
most amusing legend.
Okay, that's pretty insane. Your brother has been doing this for a long time then. That does sound like something you'd do, but it's just a legend, right? Your mother has been doing this for a long time then.
Changing her form, certainly. Devouring lost children, I cannot say. She has not done it in my experience, though in truth my lifespan is but a fraction of her own. Why do you ask? Is there something
It's a strange way of
specific you
saying
wish to
that,
know?
yeah, she's old and I'm not as old as her. Can you change into other human forms as well? Oh, that's a great
The
question.
form of
Ray.
an animal is different from my own. One may study the creature, learn to move as it does, think as it does. In time, this allows one to become as it is. I gain nothing by studying another
Ugh,
human.
damn it.
I already
That would have
am
been
the same
so
as they
helpful.
are. I learn nothing. So the answer is no. My human form is the only
Yeah, I was gonna say. I
one
mean, we
possess.
could do so much with that, Morrigan. God damn it. Can your mother do it? Can anyone become a shape changer?
Anyone with
I
sufficient
think you should
will.
be shapeshifter,
But
but
the act
sure.
of transformation is a magical one. 'Tis a spell and thus requires a mage's talents.
Yeah, how do I
Indeed,
become one?
you could learn the spells required if I cared to teach you.
Do you spend a lot of time as an animal? I've never heard of magic like that
No?
before.
'Tis not unheard of in the remote corners of the world. There are traditions of magic outside of the
All
circle
right.
of Magi.
Yeah, so she could probably
despite
teach me to
what
become a
those
shape
mages
changer,
would
or
have you believe.
the Alistair
Some
could
of
probably
these
teach others to
traditions
become a
of old,
Templar.
indeed, passed down as carefully guarded lore from one generation to the next. The zealots of the Chantry would uproot all such practitioners if they could. But as luck have it, some still exist. My mother is such a one.
Right. By practitioners, you mean apostates, don't you?
Not all apostates use the forbidden blood arts.
I
The
understand,
Leprechaun
I
do,
understand.
but to condemn
Hey, I'm
all
fine
who
with
do
blood
not
magic,
fall
to
under
be
the circle's
honest.
thrall for the
If you're
sake
doing
of
it for
what
the right
might
purposes,
be,
like our
is a
boy,
dangerous
Jowan,
path
or
to
whatever the
walk.
fuck his name was.
There are those who look on the word apostate as meaning freedom.
Do you spend a lot of time as an animal?
There were nights when the wilds called to me, 'tis true. You look upon the world around you and you think you know it well.
Fucker, the only thing you can change
I
into
have
is a
smelled
spider
it
right
as
now,
a
so that's
wolf,
really strange.
listened
Ow.
as a cat.
Okay, so I guess you
Proud
do
shadows
change into
that
other
you
things.
never
Alright.
dreamed existed. But my life is as a human. I am under no illusions to the contrary.
Man, I miss Mouse. And what do other animals think of you when you're
They do
changed?
not shy away from me. To their senses, I believe I seem like any other of their species. As to what they think, I truly cannot say. Just as I am still human, no matter my form, they are still animals. Thus they cannot speak, even were I to ask.
Gotcha. That's all I wanted to ask.
Indeed. Have you an opinion on my abilities, then? Am I an unnatural abomination to be put to the torch?
I think your abilities sound quite useful. Doesn't seem. It does seem a little revolting. Maybe tied to a flagpole and tickled. What? Maybe tied to a flagpole and tickled? Is that our attempt at flirting with her? I mean, I'm probably gonna go with that, but like, that's a weird thing to. Such a strange thing to say. That would just make you angry, I think. That feels more like her speed. That seems like way too. Just trying to hit on her. This is, yeah.
No doubt it would. But enough of such talk. Let us proceed, lest the dust gather on us.
She disapproves. Fuck. How did you disapprove of that? What did I say that was so
What do
bad?
you wish of me?
I'd like to ask
If
you
you
something.
must.
Fuck. Yeah, can you teach others to become
By
shapeshifters?
others, do you mean yourself?
I would love that. Possibly. Yes, I'm considering it. Do you see any other mages about? Yes, I'm considering
Then
it.
I shall teach you what I can
Oh.
whenever we are in camp,
All right.
provided you have the will to even make the
See,
attempt.
Alistair, this is how... Oh, specialization unlocked. Shapeshifter. Oh.
What do you wish of me?
See, yeah, Alistair, she was willing to teach me, but you won't teach others? Come on, Alistair, that's fucked up. I'd like to ask you something.
If you must.
Did you grow up in the Kakari Wilds? I
Why
think
do
we
you
already
ask
know
me
that.
such questions? I do not probe you for pointless information, do I?
You can probe me anytime. I'm curious. What's wrong with that? Fine, I will leave you be. It's my favorite way of annoying you. You can probe me anytime.
Beg pardon then while I jump for joy. What is it you asked if I grew up in the wilds? A curious question. Where else would you picture me? For many years it was
I don't
simply
know.
Flemeth and I. The
I don't know how to
wilds and
gauge
its
you.
creatures were
Alistair,
more real to
Alistair's
me
like
than
very...
Flemeth's tales of the
Yeah,
wild
I get
land.
his humor.
In
Morrigan,
time, I grew
I
curious.
can't quite read her vibe.
I left the wilds to explore what lay beyond, never for long. Brief forays into a civilized wilderness.
And you remained unnoticed. But you kept going back to the wilds. And you remained
For
unnoticed.
the most part, Flemeth taught me well. For all that I had been taught, however, the truth of the civilized lands proved to be overwhelming. I was unfamiliar with so much. So confident and bold was I, yet there was much that Flemeth could never have prepared me for.
Alright, you must have looked quite the fool. Very daring, that sounds like you.
Equal parts
Ah, got her to
and
laugh.
foolhardy, perhaps.
We're doing better, we're doing
Only
better.
once was I accused
Hopefully
of
she'll
being
approve
a
of
witch
this.
the wilds, and that by a chastened who happened to be travelling with a merchant caravan. He pointed and gasped and began shouting in his strange language, and most assumed he was casting some curse upon me. I acted the terrified girl, and naturally, he was arrested.
Smart girl, smart girl. That was quick thinking. What happened to the poor man? I'm supposed to be surprised you're a good liar. That was quick thinking. Yeah, let me
Men
just
are
be nice, I
always
suppose.
willing to believe two things about a woman. One, that she is weak, and two, that she finds him attractive. I played the weakling and battered my eyelashes at the captain of the guard. Child's play. The point being that
Very
I
smart.
was able to move through
Very
human
fucking smart,
lands
Morrigan.
fairly easily. Whatever humans think a witch of the wild looks like, 'tis not I. Not that I
'Tis
do
not
not have
I.
trouble. There are things about human society which have always puzzled me, such as the touching. Why all the touching for a simple greeting?
You're not a big fan of the kiss on the cheek? Touching, like a handshake. Are you upset by all the bad touching? I have no idea. I'm not
Do
human.
not speak to me of trivialities. Your culture is not so entirely different.
Well,
There
we're
many
both elves, the
nuances
fuck?
that Flemeth could never tell me
Wait,
of.
no, you are human.
When
Shit,
to look
alright.
into another's eyes. How to eat at a table. How
I
to
forgot she's not-
bargain
for a
without
second she
offending.
looked like an elf.
None of these things I knew. I still do not understand it all, truth be told, but then I gave up long ago any hope of doing so. When I returned to the wilds last, I swore to Flemeth that I had no intention of leaving again.
Yet here you can go back if you like. I guess the joke's on you then. Well, I'm glad it worked out this way at least. Would she like that? Yeah, here you are.
Yes, here I am. Well, let's get on with it before the ground opens up and swallows us, yes?
Sure. Plus 16. We played that one really fucking well, apparently. I wonder if it's like every conversation that we have, if there's like a certain scale of how far positive or negative it can go. Probably reacts to every, every conversation that we have with the person.
Yes?
All right. This life in the wilds must have been very lonely. Sure.
At times, perhaps. A world full of people and
For
buildings.
someone who doesn't like to
was
talk,
all
she
very
really does
foreign
like to
me.
talk.
If I wished companionship, I ran with the wolves and flew with the birds. If I spoke, 'twas to the trees.
But to the trees. Did they speak back? And that seemed normal to you. But you eventually left. That sounds. And did they speak back?
Don't be foolish. I recall the first time I crept beyond the edge
Even though
of
she
the
already told me
wilds.
that animals
I
wouldn't
did so
speak
in
back.
animal form, remaining in the shadows and watching these strange townsfolk from afar. I happened upon a noblewoman by her carriage, adorned in sparkling garments, the likes of which I had never before seen. I was dazzled. This, to me, seemed
Not the little
what
jazz
true
hands.
wealth and beauty must be. I snuck up behind her
And that's what the
and
jazz
stole
hands.
a hand mirror from the carriage. 'Twas encrusted in gold and crystalline.
She really talking with her
gemstones,
hands
and
now,
I
what the
hugged
fuck?
it to my chest with delight as I sped back to the wilds.
So you were a thief. Can't imagine Flemeth was pleased. I feel like Flemeth would have been very pleased, actually. Fuck it, I'll say it.
She was not.
Oh, alright.
Flemeth was furious with me. I was a child and had not yet come into my full power, and I had risked discovery for the sake of a pretty bauble. To teach me a lesson, Flemeth took the mirror and smashed
Yeah,
it.
okay,
upon
that
the
does sound like
ground.
Flemeth, huh?
I was heartbroken.
Oh, but you were just a child. I have a hard time picturing you heartbroken. Flemeth is right, no doubt. I have a hard time picturing you heartbroken.
That is because I learned my lesson well. Beauty and love are fleeting.
Wasn't
and
sure how
have
that one
no
was going to go
meaning.
over either, to be honest.
Survival has meaning. Power has meaning. Without those lessons, I would not be here today, as difficult as they might have been.
Right. I feel sorry for you, but you don't need to live that way any longer. They made you stronger, didn't they? Those are harsh lessons to teach a child. They made you stronger, didn't they?
They did indeed. To return to your original question, perhaps my time in the wilds was indeed lonely, but such was how it had to be. I find myself at
you
times
sure as shit ain't gonna be
wondering what
lonely
might
now.
become of the girl with the beautiful golden mirror, but such fantasies have no place amidst reality.
Fair enough. Oh, you didn't approve or disapprove of that one?
Yes.
Just neutral. All right. Is
If
there
you
anything
must.
else I must ask you? Have you ever been hunted by the Chantry?
You are very cute to ask so many questions.
Yeah, I do ask you so many fucking questions. I'm glad you think so. And you are cute when you're evasive. Ooh, getting a little flirty, potentially. You don't have to answer if you don't want to. Just answer, or don't. You are cute when you're evasive.
Really?
Ooh,
Perhaps
you getting a
we
little
should be
flirty?
wrapped in ribbons and adorned with flowers. So cute are we, too. My mother
Let's
has been
go.
ordered from time to time, yes, by Templar fools like Alistair, which should tell you how successful they generally were. Flemeth made a bit of a game of it, in fact. The Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin once more.
Fun. You found it fun. You really had no trouble with them. I feel sorry for the Templars. Yeah, you really had no trouble with them.
I was too young to understand, and perhaps 'twas bravado on Flemeth's part.
Bravado.
Or perhaps she was merely amused. I will never know. Flemeth would warn them once. 'Twas a warning they inevitably failed to heed. And then the true game began.
Oh boy.
Often Flemeth would use me as bait. A little
That's
girl to
fucked
scream
up,
and run
dude.
and lure the Templars deeper into the wilds and to their doom.
That's crazy. Plymouth used you as bait. Did you actually kill them all? Surely more would have followed. Plymouth used you as bait?
It was
Yeah,
a
that's fucking
game,
insane.
and I, a young girl.
That's
If
nuts,
I didn't
dude.
get to play, I would have been very upset. Thankfully,
Absolutely
the wilds
wild.
is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere, and we would be lost within the forest once again. I did not understand the danger we faced until I was much older. I had never heard of apostates or maleficarum.
I don't even know what the fuck Maleficarum means either. Don't you regret hurting any of those men at all? Nah, fuck that. What exactly is an apostate? I know what that is, come on. They probably thought you were dangerous, with good reason. Do you still think that was fun? They got what they deserved, damn. Yeah, do you still think that was
I
fun?
think that my mother made it fun so that a child did not learn to fear. And I think that it was necessary. There are no trials for
Fair,
apostates, no prisons, no mercy. There are only absolutes, so only survival matters. If the wilds have taught me anything, 'tis this. First, you must survive. Do you disagree?
No, I mean, yeah, you're right. I have no opinion on the matter. You're probably right. That's a pathetic justification. Absolutely. There are worse things than death. Oh, right. I absolutely disagree. I mean, I gotta agree with her if I'm trying to smash. I mean, come on. You're probably right.
An interesting answer for a mage. Enough of this talk. Let us return to the task at hand.
Morgan approves. +4. Damn. Wow, Morgan, you are just flying along that scale. I don't know what the max... I'm assuming it's probably plus 100, minus 100. I don't know. It'll take us a while, but we'll get there eventually. Alright, do we have
Yes?
any other questions
If
to
you
ask
must.
her? Is Plymouth really what she seems
Well,
to
that
be?
depends,
This
does
is
it
going to be a
not?
whole episode of just
What does
talking
she
to these two
see?
people in the same spot. An old woman. Powerful maleficer. A nutty old bat. Well, yeah. Human. Yeah, nutty old bat, I suppose.
Sometimes I do wonder the very same thing. Tell me, how much do you know of the tale? The one that the chastened still tell of my mother, to frighten them into obedience.
I didn't even know there was such a thing. Nah, I've heard a little of it. I'm more interested in the truth. Spare me the... I've heard a little of it,
No
yeah.
doubt such a tale has mutated much over time and telling. I can relay what Flemeth once told me herself, and you can decide whether or not 'tis the truth, if you desire.
Sounds interesting. Alright, but make it quick. And the point would be... yeah, that sounds interesting.
As
So-
the tale is sung by the bards, there was a time when Flemeth was young and beautiful, a fair lass in a land of barbarian men, the desire of any who saw her.
Just how long ago is this? Yes, I've heard this part. Yeah, just how long ago?
Many centuries.
Centuries?
Before
How old
this
is
land
bitch?
was
What?
even named Ferelden.
Okay, that's definitely
The
not true.
tales say that Flemeth fell in love with Osen the bard.
Also, it's
and
like
fled
passed
the
down,
castle of
the
her
Flemeth
husband,
name.
the dread Lord Conabar, and that he swore vengeance for her infidelity. In truth, my mother claims that 'twas Osen who was her husband, and Conabar the jealous lord who looked on from afar. Lord Conabar approached young Osen and offered him wealth and power in exchange for his lovely wife. And Osen agreed.
He sold his wife to another man. That's absolutely fucking wild. Flemeth must have been angry. Seems like a fair deal. He sold his wife to another
Life
man.
of
That's
a bard
fucking nuts,
is a
dude.
poor one, and love fades in the wake of hunger. 'Twas Flemeth who suggested the arrangement. All would
Damn.
have been well
Shit,
had
alright.
Lord Conobar kept his end of the bargain. But he was a foul man who bargained with coin he did not possess. Osen was led
classic.
off to a field and slain, left for dead.
Oh.
Flemeth spoke to the spirits and learned of the deed, and swore revenge.
She spoke to spirits, or demons. But wasn't she now married to a wealthier man? So she truly loved Osen, then. Yes, she truly
That
loved
was not the
Osen.
point. Conobar had no honor, so she would not have him. Flemeth begged the spirits to aid her, and 'twas they who slew Conobar. The demon the
Conobar.
legend tells of came later. Lord Conobar's allies chased Flemeth, you see. Chased her to the wilds, and there she hid. There she found the demon, and he made her strong. The legends all speak of the great hero Cormac, he who defeated Flemeth and her great army when she invaded the lowlands
obviously not.
centuries later. All lies.
Of course Flemeth would say that. Which? She never invaded, or he never defeated her. Even my people have heard of Cormac. Yeah. Which? She never invaded, or he never defeated her?
The truth of the matter is that there was never an invasion. As Flemeth tells it, the Chastened never raised an army under her banner, and she never fought with any warrior named Cormac. Cormac led a brutal civil war against his
Is she
own
this
people,
fucking old? She
and
don't look
later
that
claimed
goddamn
it was
old,
to
if I'm gonna be
vanquish
honest,
evil
but
that had taken
okay.
root amongst the lords. Thus, he was hailed a hero. Flemeth was only attached to the legend much later. Perhaps 'twas due to the great war with the Chastened that eventually came, but Mother claims not to know how it began.
Mother? Do you believe her version? How is it that Flemeth has survived for so long? The legend tells of Flemeth having many daughters. Aren't abominations usually insane horrors? An interesting story, thank you. I'm assuming I can ask all these. That all sounds like hogwash. Do you believe her version?
I do not believe everything that Flemeth claims. Oft it seems her bitterness has coloured her memories. But on the whole, yes, I believe this tale, if not all.
Alright. How is it that Flemeth has survived for so long?
The demon within her has transformed her into something else. An abomination, perhaps some would say.
Wouldn't
I
that
know
still
not.
just...
I
You could
only know
still
my
just
mother
call
is
it a demon,
clever,
but sure.
And she is part of the wilds as it is part of her. But she is no immortal. She bleeds. A blade in her heart would kill her like any other, were it lucky enough to find her.
Okay. The legend tells of Flemeth having many daughters.
You ask if I have sisters. I have asked of this myself. The stories tell of many witches of the wilds after all, not just the one. And these tales existed long before I did. Flemeth refuses to speak of other daughters, if they existed. So, should I believe I am her first? I doubt that too.
Why would she refuse to speak of them?
The Chastened tell of a falling out between Flemeth and her daughters. They say that one day she hunted them all through the wilds and ate their hearts. It may
What
be true.
the fuck?
I have never seen another witch or heard of one. Perhaps one day Flemeth will eat my heart as well.
God damn, what the fuck is up with that? Are abominations usually insane horrors?
How often is this usually? Always? If not always, then when is it not true? There are more things in this world and the next than you or I could ever hope to understand.
It's fair, it's fair.
What
I've
Flemeth became
seen fucking
is a
nothing of
mystery.
this world.
I suspect even to her.
Interesting. Interesting story, thank you.
Flemeth tells it with far more embellishment than I, but you are welcome. Dare I ask of your own mother?
Oh,
Few are
now you asking
abominations
me
of
questions?
legend,
Oh,
'tis
I know,
true,
I know,
but
I know she's starting to
find
get into
myself
it.
Curious, nevertheless.
There's nothing really to say about her. I love her. What else do you want to know? Keep your curiosity to yourself. I mean, how about, yeah, I just don't fucking know who the fuck she is because I got taken when I was 3 years old or whatever the hell. I say I love her. What else do you want to know?
Nothing. I wish to know nothing more. I find myself a little envious, to tell the truth. But it matters not. Let us move
okay.
on.
Okay. I mean, I could have answered more, but I guess not. Damn, Morrigan really just be approving of fucking everything. Plus 19. Alright. Cool. Yeah, how do I get to character record? Yeah, okay. Oh, okay, that's a different section then. Alright. Alright, one more thing we want to do. Or actually, no, we still got to ask her about.
Yes.
Do we have any other questions?
If you must.
Can you teach others? No, okay. Alright, so we gotten through all of her questions.
Yes.
I'd like to discuss something personal.
We are hardly alone, so privacy is not an option. It is your question, however. Ask what you will.
Kiss her? Oh, okay, we're not going to do that right now. That's not going to fucking happen. So what do I have to do to get on your good side? You are a heartless shrew, you know that? What? That's crazy. So what do I have to do to get on your good side?
Let us assume that this imaginary good side exists. What
Okay,
exactly
fair.
would be the benefit for you to get on it?
I'll settle for a smile, actually. Power beyond my wildest dreams. Do I really have to spell it out? I don't want to be too direct. Or if you're going to play games, forget it. Power beyond my wildest dreams.
Perhaps you have mistaken me for a djinn.
Okay, that
Let
was
me
a
see.
joke. It was a
I
joke,
would
God damn it.
expect favor
Hopefully.
to come with a price. Perhaps you would be willing to pay a compliment. Is that too much?
Compliment? What the fuck? Alright. I'm brilliant, amazing. You are brilliant and amazing. Fuck yeah. Yes, it is. I'm not trying to court you. Are you joking? You're fishing for a compliment. Did I say I am a... That seems so funny to say. It seems so funny to say this. I'm just gonna say it myself.
I suppose I did not specify that I wanted it myself, did I? Very
Damn.
well then.
Yeah. That was pretty good.
You are
Yeah,
on
say.
my good side. Best watch your step that you don't fall off.
Alright. We're getting there. We're getting there. Slowly and
Yes.
steadily. Is there anything
We're hardly
else?
alone, so
Is
privacy
there anything
not
else
an
I could
option. It is
kiss
your
her?
question, however.
No.
Ask
You're a
what
heartless
you
shrew, you know that. Also no. Definitely fucking not. I don't know if each of these little sections are like a different range in it, or if that's just its way of dividing stuff up, but yeah. Alright, Rufus, is there anything I can talk to you about? Leave Rufus alone. Do you see anything interesting? Oh. He barks excitedly and runs off. Oh, Rufus doesn't seem to have found anything. Oh, okay. Well, that's unfortunate. Alright, fair enough. Bounces around, barking excitedly. My boy. Let's pet the boy, Rufus. Aww. Oh, that's adorable. Oh, Rufy. Oh, I shouldn't call him Rufy. That's probably not ideal. Leave Rufus alone. Barks happily. Okay. Wait, is he gone? No, okay. Just seeing him walk off is so strange, but alright. Alright. One last thing before I end this video. I'm just gonna give... Not Severin. Morrigan. Yeah, you're gonna look ugly as shit wearing it, but you're gonna wear it regardless. You're gonna wear it because you need the protection. But it's fine because when we actually talk to you, it goes away. Alright. I do like that feature. We got our matching hoodie. Oh, and then I also wanted to give her... Where was it? Tribal necklace. A necklace of sun-bleached teeth and bones. Gifts can be sold to a merchant or given to a certain party members to influence their approval rating. Who do I want to give it to? I mean, Alistair's less of a fan, but I feel like Alistair. I'm not trying to court Alistair, so we gonna get the approval up with Morrigan. There you go.
A fine gift.
+5.
You
All right.
have my thanks.
Okay, that's a stupid fucking system right there. A fine gift. You have my thanks. I'm just gonna bribe my way into her having her like me. New ability, inspired minor. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh no, wait, no, that's the skill. Wait, what? Oh, plot. Okay. Inspired minor magic. Inspired minor magic plot. Passive. Inspired by your leadership, this party member has gained a minor bonus to magic. Oh. Oh, so when they hit all of those thresholds, they get little bonuses. I guess Rufus ain't gonna be getting anything. Alright, that's pretty good to know. That's pretty good to know. Well, when we return, we will be checking out... what the hell? Where the fuck even are we right now? Lothering, whatever the fuck this place is called. Yeah. That's where we are at. You cannot travel at this time. Okay. There we got Ostagar, Ruined Fortress. Ostagar has stood since the time of... Yeah, okay. Are these all the locations that we can go to, or is there more? Party camp. The current party campsite. Interesting. Yeah, I feel like there's definitely more. They're just... I think these are just all the places that we currently know about, is what that is. Yeah, the Circle Tower. Damn, so that means that when we got picked up, we would have traveled all the way from the Circle Tower over here, all the way fucking south to Ostagar, way down there. Jesus Christ, we traveled a long way. Let's check out the map real quick. We got the Kakari Wilds, covers a large-ass area. Uncharted territories, the Amaranthine Ocean, however the fuck you say that. Brazilian Forest, Brazilian Passage, Southern Hills, a river, Dragon's Peak, some mountains, yeah. Another river, coastlands, north to Free Marches, okay. West Orlais. Can we actually travel to those other places? Or is this the full map, at least just for this game? Maybe future games are in the Free Marches and Orlais. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Because they're going to have to try and expand on it, you know. Alright, well, yeah, that is going to do it for now. So thank you guys for watching. And, God, that was... If you watched that full episode, God bless you. You are a fan of Dragon Age Origins. You have to be a fan of Dragon Age Origins if you just sat through that whole damn episode. But, yeah. If you're still here, thank you very much. If not, then you'll never know. Goodbye.